The Sydney, Australia Bondi Junction mall attack. Let's talk about what we know. And I also want to say, be very careful with this one, not to jump to conclusions. It might appear to be something on the surface, but there might be more than meets the eye. So let's talk about it. A horrible attack happened at a mall in Sydney, Australia. It happened during the day at around 3 p.m. And while people were doing their weekend shopping, a man entered the mall and started what appears to be randomly attacking people with a knife. Minutes after the attack started, after multiple victims suffered from wounds, a female police officer entered the scene and the attacker went towards her. She neutralized the situation using her firearm. 7 people total are deceased, including the attacker, so that leaves 6 victims that are deceased. 5 were not alive on the scene. 1 passed away at the hospital, and that includes 5 women and 1 male. And of the victims, there are more that are in the hospital. One of those victims is a 9-month-old baby. The baby was transferred to a children's hospital, underwent surgery, but the baby is still alive and hopefully will be fine. Unfortunately, the baby's mother did not make it. There is a harrowing story of the mother throwing her baby actually into the arms of a stranger in an attempt to save the baby's life, and that very well might have saved the baby's life. Unfortunately, the mother didn't make it. Now let's talk about the attacker, his motivations, and what we know so far. So they have not identified him, but they did say that he is a 40-year-old male. They also said that he is known to law enforcement, and they ruled out what it appears to be on the surface. And that's where I'm going to come back in, and why I said be really careful not to jump to conclusions with this one, because we've seen things like this unfortunately before, and usually there is a common motivator in all of these, which makes sense as to why people would jump to that conclusion. I myself jumped to that when I first saw it because it did appear to be completely random. Now let's go back to that press conference with the police commissioner again. So she describes him entering the mall. So he was inside the mall, left the mall, returned about 10 minutes later, and that's when he carried on the attack. The first people of this attack, and it even says in some publications, you can check me, that the woman and her small child were targeted first. The police commissioner also did say, again, this is a 40-year-old male. They would not confirm the identity. They said they're still confirming the identity. They did say that this person is known to law enforcement, and it was made sure to say that what this appears to be, the T word, is ruled out. Now, this got many people upset. How on earth could you rule something out that quickly? There's so much we don't even know yet. Well, again, here's why I say don't jump to conclusions. I did hear a witness. Now, none of this is confirmed, but the only reason I'm saying this is because I just think it's important when things like this happen to let the information come out until you say anything definitively. There is an eyewitness account, this is hearsay, that the attacker, while the attack was happening, was babbling about knowing the woman and the baby that this person went after. Now, if that was the case, if this person knew, a lot of things would make sense. It would make sense that this person came to the mall, maybe spotted the person that he knew, went to his vehicle, grabbed something, came back. It would also make sense why the commissioner would say something like, we know who this person is, we're still confirming it, but if it's who we think it is, then this person is known by us, and they have also ruled out the T word. Again, if that scenario were accurate, then this person could have gone after the woman and child, and after that gotten really upset and just started going after anyone who was around. And hypotheticals here, if maybe this person had an issue with him in the past, that could be why they're saying we maybe know who this person is. No matter what the motivation is, we'll all stay tuned, I'm sure, to see when more information about this comes out. And again, no matter what the motivation, 6 people senselessly lost their lives at the hands of a madman. That is absolutely for sure. And although the main motivating factor might not have been to inflict terror on the general public and act like this, that's exactly what it does. So, in a sense, that is still the kind of attack it was, in my opinion. It just may be a different ideological reason, I guess.